Have you ever seen someone who seems to freeze time the moment they appear on camera? Someone whose photos make you stop and just stare? Michelle Phillips is one of those people, known for her incredible presence and unforgettable look. She has captured the attention of fans around the world for decades. But there are some photos of her that people cannot stop talking about, the ones where she is wearing nothing but a G-string. Yes, you heard that right. These images leave very little to the imagination and show a side of Michelle that is bold, daring, and unapologetically confident. But there is more to these photos than just the surface. We are going to look closely at Michelle Phillips, the story behind these photos, and why they have become so talked about even decades after they were taken. Michelle Phillips first rose to fame as a member of the music group the Mamas and the Papas. Her voice, style, and charisma made her a standout in the 1960s music scene. She was not just a singer. She became a symbol of the era's freedom, creativity, and daring fashion. Now, while most people know her for her music, there is another side of Michelle that fewer people talk about, the side captured in these daring photos. These images show her in very minimal clothing, highlighting her confidence and comfort in her own skin. It is interesting because these photos were taken in a time when showing this much of oneself was still considered shocking. Today, it might not seem as unusual, but back then it was bold. And Michelle's ability to pull it off is part of why people still talk about these images. So what makes these photos stand out? First, it is her expression. She is not smiling or posing like a model who is trying too hard. She looks relaxed, confident, and completely natural. That makes the images feel real, like a glimpse into her true personality, not just a staged photo shoot. Second, it is the way the photos are framed. The focus is not just on her body. There is an artistic quality to them. The lighting, the shadows, the angles, all of it comes together to create a striking visual that draws your eyes in. You notice the details, the way the light hits her skin, the curves, the textures of the surroundings. There is a story in every shot, even if it is silent. But it is not just about what she is wearing or not wearing. It is also about the courage it took to do these photos. Being photographed in a G-string, especially at that time, was not easy. She had to trust the photographer, trust the situation, and most importantly, trust herself. That trust shines through in every image. It is clear she is in control, confident, and fully aware of her power as a public figure. And that brings us to another point. These photos are not just about glamour or appearance. They are about empowerment. Michelle is showing that she owns her choices. She decides how she presents herself to the world. That sense of independence is something fans have admired about her for decades. Now, it is easy to focus only on the revealing nature of the images, but there's a lot more going on. Her expressions, her posture, the surroundings, all of it adds layers to the story. You get a sense of who Michelle is, even without words. She is playful, confident, and unapologetically herself. That is why people still look at these photos and feel drawn to them. Even after all these years, the conversation around these images has not faded. New generations discover them and are surprised to see how bold and fearless Michelle was. It is not just about the photos themselves. It is about the confidence, the attitude, and the way she carried herself. That is timeless. And if you think these photos are only about her body, think again. Michelle's gaze in these images says so much. There is a spark, a challenge, a kind of playful energy that makes the viewer stop and pay attention. It is almost like she is saying, "I am who I am. Take it or leave it." That energy is part of what makes her photos so unforgettable. So, why are people still talking about these photos now? It is because they capture a moment in time, an era when the rules were different, and breaking them took courage. They show a woman who knew her worth and was not afraid to show it, even if it shocked some people. That is powerful, and it is part of why Michelle Phillips continues to fascinate fans decades later. To sum it up, these G-string photos of Michelle Phillips are more than just bold images. They are a statement. They show confidence, control, and a fearless attitude. They remind us that being yourself, owning your choices, and showing your true self can leave a lasting impression. Michelle Phillips has always been an icon, not just for her music, but for her personality, her courage, and her willingness to break barriers. And these photos, they're proof that sometimes the most memorable moments are not just on stage. They're captured in a single, unforgettable image. Have you ever seen photos that capture someone's true confidence? Michelle Phillips did it decades ago. Comment your thoughts below.